Before we start animating, I want to explain why animation works. And I'm going to do that by talking about something called persistence of vision. Think about how disorienting it would be if every time you blink, the whole world went completely dark. It would be hard to blink while you were running or even walking. You might trip or fall over. But when we blink, we rarely even notice it. But we actually blink about 15 to 20 times every minute. That's a lot of blinking. So maybe you're noticing how much you blink right now in this moment because I just mentioned it, but we don't normally notice it at all. And the reason that we don't notice our blinking is something called persistence of vision. And persistence of vision is the core reason that animation works. When we close our eyes, our retina holds on to the image of the last thing we saw and keeps showing it to our brain for a split second before letting it go. And by the time we've opened our eyes again at the end of the blink, there's new visual information for us to see because our eyes are now open, and so things don't ever really go all the way dark. Early filmmakers realized that you could trick the eye into thinking that a series of still images that were played back really fast was actually something that was moving. So when you shoot video on your phone, or when the earliest filmmakers shot their movies on actual film, what you're really doing is taking lots and lots of still images and then playing them back really fast. For video, you're capturing about 30 still images every second. And for film, it's a little bit less. It's usually about 24 still images every second. And when you play that back to an audience or to yourself, just looking at your own footage, your eye is tricked and you think that you're seeing something that's moving, right? But in fact, it's actually still images. And if you ever open a video file in QuickTime and use the arrow keys, the right and left arrow keys, and tap through it, you can see the individual frames. Animation works on this same principle, and the idea is that instead of pointing our cameras at the real world and things that are moving and taking lots of still images of them, we're going to trick the camera by taking one still image and then moving the object a little bit, taking another still image, moving it a little bit more, taking another, and so on. And we're going to be doing that so that we have 12 still images every second. And we're going to play that back and it's going to look like animation. I know I said that video is 30 and film is 24. That's a lot of frames. And you don't actually need that many frames to trick the eye. 12 frames per second is a nice balance between being smooth, so the animation looks good to our eye, and not being a crazy amount of work. Because imagine having to take 24 still images for every single second of your animation. That's a lot of work. We're creative people, and we want to get down and into it, but 12 frames a second is going to be just great for our purposes here.